We have two very good reasons to analyze what is going on with Selena Gomez right now, but we'll get to those in due time because I want to use her as a comparison to somebody else that we're going to be talking about here in a very short period of time. Somebody who, a couple of weeks ago, if you do recall, was a blubbering, crying mess. A billionaire with a breakdown to rival all breakdowns, just weeping and crying about all of my people. Oh, I'm getting thrown out of the country. This is so sad. I'm so sorry for you. Just being a total laughing stock, a complete and total goof that was getting lampooned the world over. Fast forward a couple of weeks and she's out here promoting and representing one of the most embarrassing films you are likely to ever see, which, spoilers for this Sunday's Oscars. I think they're this Sunday. Okay, I hope Emilia Perez wins all of the Oscars, man. Oh my god, just you're nominated for 13. I want you to win them all, okay? Like Return of the King with its 11. Oh yeah, it absolutely fails in comparison to this drug cartel kingpin turned trans made good story with a couple of, just hilarious songs over the top of it. I want that to be the most awarded film of all time and just totally torpedo the credibility of Hollywood. Just please, I'm an accelerationist at this point, even though I've always been, if you've, been watching the channel for a while, I just want all this stuff to hurry up and burn down so this phoenix could eventually rise. But every once in a while, you see somebody who appropriately course corrects, okay, who just shuts their yap, who realizes that, oops, I did something incredibly stupid. Let me just go ahead and show off some assets so people can go ahead, appropriately and, positively compare me to a dumpster fire out there. And I'll just go ahead and take all of this crap. I will go ahead and take this monkey off of my back and throw it onto somebody else in a worse situation, because we have Selena Gomez delivers a classic Hollywood glamour at the 2025 SAG Awards. And at this point in time, ain't nothing really sagging, if we're being completely honest, you know what I mean. Selena Gomez looked like a real-life Snow White. Oh, as she walked the red carpet at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Yes, the Film Actors Guild Awards. She was definitely, she was cutting a figure, and to be completely honest, I mean, didn't need Disney to lighten up that skin tone this time around, but yeah, if we're going to be completely honest, and if Disney was dead set on casting somebody who, phonetically doesn't sound like they should be portraying the Disney princess whose skin is as white as the driven snow, who is in fact the fairest of them all. I mean, they could have done a hell of a lot worse than that, because she's looking fine with a capital F. Like, that is, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, okay? From the hair to the makeup, it's like, it's a classic look. Good for her. It's a lot better than, pretending to give a shit about a bunch of, illegals, but hey, looks a lot better than this disaster right here, because holy crap, man, I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm more excited for a month out, okay? Assassin's Creed Shadows or Snow White? It's probably Snow White at this point, because this is just, it's going to be such a disaster. Like, I don't know. Assassin's Creed Shadows might just end up being, It might end up being a 4 or 5 out of 10, which is probably the best that they can hope for with half of a development team that has never worked on a video game before. But I think we can honestly say, like, there's nothing to look forward to with Snow White. Like, there's no performances. Gal Gadot couldn't act her way out of a bombed out transit bus. Rachel Zegler is the most toxic singular individual in all of Hollywood. There is nothing. The dwarves look like ass. The script is gonna be just girl boss insanity. It's the perfect dumpster fire, okay? I'm looking forward to it. I might end up, I don't want to promise anything. I don't want to promise anything too concrete, but if I was to ever do like a review or something like that, to go down to the theater to check out a copy of this and then to just write up my thoughts on something that is a little bit more than just 10 minutes of me hysterically laughing, it might be this, just for the pure cringe. Don't hold me to it, but also don't be surprised if something pops out, the later stages of March. But I digress here for a second, because this film and and Rachel Zegler herself has been so good to me over the past couple of years, because she has provided me with just so many eyeballs watching the videos that she's associated with, and then also just me personally just so many good laughs. And this one right here, it really does harken back. I don't know if it's the most hilarious thing that she's done, because I got a highlight reel of some of her hits that I just want to refresh everybody's memory on now that we're less than a month. We're T-minus 1 month away from release. So we'll refresh everybody here in a second and see how well this stacks up, because this really does harken back, okay, to that Variety interview when she was sat against, the wall-eyed Little Mermaid and Halle Bailey, okay, where she was very contrite. She was very measured in her words, only to end up blowing everything back up when she was with her wishing a death and suffering on Trump supporters. But don't worry, guys, that was in the past. This is the brand new Rachel Zegler, who's going to be very contrite and very demure on the promotional tour, which is probably going to last for 2 more interviews at best. Rachel Zegler says the backlash for Snow White comments is passion from Disney or for the Disney character, right? The one that you don't care about, the one that you just thought was dated, and you only watched once and you didn't really think that much about it. But all we can do is give the best of ourselves, Zegler said. Oh, really? No, unfortunately, this isn't a video interview. This just happens to be translated from, what is it, Vogue Mexico? It's wild, okay? Because they're apparently Disney's sending like Gal Gadot out there on all of the big promotional tours, at least right now, and sending Rachel out to the Hispanic outlets where they need to translate her interviews. Interesting. Zegler acknowledged the backlash against her years-old comments. Oh, guys, that's all in the past. Like, she's a changed person. Oh, shit, just not quite as changed as we hoped. About a Disney Snow White live-action remake, attributing the kerfuffle, to fan passion for the princess, right? Oh, it's just a kerfuffle. You guys, you're just a misunderstanding, right? That's why we've got the highlight reel pulled up here very shortly to go over. Zegler will star as the titular Snow White in the upcoming film. Her casting, first announced in 2021, was met with outrage due to her Colombian descent. Yeah, well, half Hungarian, half Colombian, and all mid-Jersey looks. Ugh. The racism was then fomented when Zegler called the original 1937 version of the film dated and said the prince literally stalks the princess. Right, guys, it was racism. It wasn't looking at her old entitled actions, especially around West Side Story, a film that bombed and that she complained her way to the Oscars, or it's just everybody going, okay, cool, yeah, Disney went full Disney. Once again, they did the most obvious move ever by race swapping the character that made them a studio to begin with. It's like, yeah, cool, not shocked by this at all whatsoever, but it's just racism, right? Like we're scared of this 5'4" vat of toxic waste. Yeah, no, definitely, sure. Then the actress spoke out against Donald Trump's election last year. The MAGA coalition vowed to boycott the film's release. Oh, she just spoke out against Trump's election. Just simply spoke out. What was that? Echoing the words of some, tiny hat enthusiast. I hope that Donald Trump and his supporters never know peace. That's just speaking out against Trump's election, rather, not even the supporters. But yeah, it's the MAGA coalition vowed to boycott the film's release. Right. Then how are you going to explain literally nobody turning up to this? Because as bad as the box office results for Captain Black Falcon America Man are right now, and as much as the industry wants to paint that as racism for not accepting Black Captain America, see, I just about screwed it up again, because Falcon is a black character and Anthony Mackie is great as Falcon, but Captain America is Steve Rogers, and the public is letting you know that. How are you going to spin this when Snow White fails to make Marvel's money? How are you going to do that one? Anyways, I interpret people's feelings about the film as passion for it, Zegler said this week in an interview with Vogue Mexico. Interesting. What an honor to be part of. Oh, shut up. I don't believe you for a second. As something that people feel so passionate about. We're not always going to have the same feelings as everyone around us, and all we can do is give the best of ourselves. This was exactly like that Vogue interview where it's like, I just, people really just don't understand, and we gotta have sympathy for people who just don't understand how hard that is, and they just like the original, and we're just going in a different direction. Oh, shut up. Zegler also added that it was a beautiful experience watching watching young black girls see Halle Bailey helm the live-action Little Mermaid film that lost how much money, by the way? Oh, but it was in 2023, so that's fine. In the interview, Zegler spoke candidly about her Colombian heritage, because that's what we hear on the that's what we want to hear on the promotional tour for. Let me see once again. Snow Colombian. Snow has a different connotation in Colombia, so maybe that's what she was promoting. In fact, a future line of work for her. I understand that the community doesn't want to be seen as a monolith. Oh, really? It doesn't want to be seen as a monolith, but hey, all of those evil mega chuds that are out there that are going to boycott this film, we don't want Colombians to be seen as a monolith, right? But the reality of being Latino, and I'm sorry, it's Latinx. I thought that's what your side of this wanted to be referred to as. Okay, so get your shit right, okay? And working in this industry is that we try to represent the entire diaspora. I know where I have been. Where exactly? At the bottom of the box office, killing off more franchises and Paramount. Like, what are you talking about here? I represent it in my narrative, and I carry it in my heart every day. I represent it in my narrative. Oh, okay, cool. So you're delusional. Well, we already kind of knew that. We didn't really need like a Vogue interview for this. The West Side Story actress went on to speak about the differences to expect between the 19th and 20th century versions of the Snow White film. The original fairy tale from the 1800s and the 1937 original. It's very important for the public to know that Disney has found this beautiful and delicate balance between the animated classic that everyone knows and loves from 1937, except for you, right? Because it's dated and it's a story about a stalker, right? Everybody knows and loves it though, and at the same time introduces it to a new generation. Yeah, where we had to go ahead and redefine what it means to be fairest of them all, but this balance, as Zegler said, comes from the princess's character. Yeah, because she's gonna be the absolute most badass girl who I'm sure a lot of people are gonna doubt her, but then at the end she just needed to realize that she was in fact as good as the narrative that she tells herself is all the time, and she just needed to believe in herself in order to overcome the evil witch, right? There is no supernatural power that Snow White possesses beyond her love for humanity. Oh, this is gonna suck for all living creatures, and her fundamental belief that there is goodness in everything. Then why the hell did they cast you? Because there's no goodness in you. That's something I really believe the world could take advantage of more, but not me. Like the world, everybody else that's out there, because all of you pores and all of you stinkies and all of you chuds that are out there, you're the ones that need to be better. Okay, I'm perfect the way that I am. Okay, you see these eyebrows? I work really hard to have these bushy caterpillars who just crawl across my face to make me look a little bit more reasonable, because if I were to just go ahead and deal with a little bit of the bushiness out up at the top, people would realize that I'm such a disaster. Even my eyes are trying to escape my face. It's something that everybody else needs to learn. Okay, you guys need to learn acceptance. You guys need to understand and learn that what we're doing with this Snow White is going to go ahead and correct the injustices of the past. And well, instead of me monologuing over the top of Zegler's words, let's just let her go ahead and describe what it means to be Snow White for a modern audience.
No longer 1937.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Oh.
So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power. No longer 1937.
Oh boy, it's almost like Vogue got a very coached opinion of what should be happening and what the movie is about, and it's almost like we got to look behind the curtain with these candid responses. But hey, there's just a couple of things from a few years ago. It won't end up being representative of the end product, right? Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a fun month in the lead up to this stuff. Please, Zegler, keep on talking, especially right from the heart. We want to hear that narrative that you keep on telling yourself because it's just so wonderful. What a storybook tale, man. What a story from 2025. A tale, a story for a modern audience. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.